Welcome to CRO Cafe. I am Guido Jansen, and this is part of a mini-series I am recording ahead of Space Academy, Experimentation Leads event on practical AI in experimentation, which is on May 6th and 7th in London. The conference is on the 7th and the workshop is the day before. And my guest today is Sani. And Sani, I just realized something. We've spoken with each other quite a bit, but you've never been on the CRO Cafe podcast.
I just realized that too.
This is a wrong that I need to right, and I'm very happy that that I'm able to do that today. So you may know Sani, you probably know Sani from the NoHacks podcast. Over 200 episodes now. Do you have an exact number? Which one did you record just yet?
Which
number
one,
was that?
and I think it's a philosophical episode about the splitting of the web.
Ooh.
Not to human and agentic web, and what that means for different industries, because it's like segments. It's not the same if you're in publishing versus in retail, and how much you're getting screwed by this depends on which industry you're in.
Nice. We'll link to that episode in the show notes. So Sani has 15 plus years in web optimization, one of the organizers of the Future of Experimentation conference, and also running the pre-event workshop on May 6th together with Iqbal, which is on building AI workflows with N8N and using smaller models instead of bigger ones. And what I really appreciate about my talks with Sani, which haven't been recorded before, so I'm very glad to be personally record with her now, is that Sani is very skeptical without being dismissive. I think that's a good description.
Oh, thank you. I'll use that if you don't mind. I like to think,
yes.
I like to say curious, skeptical, practical in that order.
Yeah.
But that's also a good definition.
Nice. And what we're going to talk about today and what the workshop is about, you use a lot of AI, you build with it, and you know what works and what doesn't. So, Sani, welcome to CRO Cafe.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. It's an honor.
My first question for you is basically you made a pivot a bit from CRO to what's called AXO. So and a machine first. Let's leave the acronyms. Okay, let's call it that. Yes. So your whole framework, machine first architecture, starts from the idea that your next million visitors won't be human anymore. So when did you first realize? I mean, this has been going on. We've known bots since we're online, of course. But when did you first realize that this is something that you should really shift your attention to, what the bots and AI and LLMs are doing with your website?
So the first few realizations were when I think OpenAI was the first to have that computer use agent, whatever they called it, in 2024. But when in the first half of 2025, every damn tech company launched a browser with AI in it. This is a war for attention, and the attention is in the browser because we do everything we do in the. Remember we had desktop apps for everything? It's all in the browser now. They all tried shoving an AI, an LLM, whatever, an assistant inside the browser, and OpenAI has its own browser, Perplexity has a browser, Anthropic has a Chrome plugin, Google is just pushing Gemini into everything, Microsoft is pushing Copilot, which is for entertainment purposes only, according to their terms page. If you haven't read it, go and read it. It's true. That's what they say. So every company is trying to shove AI between what we are looking for and doing online and us. And I think that layer, that tiny layer that's getting thicker and thicker as we go, was worth paying attention to. And I think optimizing for that layer is what matters if you have an online presence.
So what's that going to mean for me owning a website?
For you owning a website, I think the first thing that people need to start thinking in terms of how they build their website is, if you're designing the message your website is saying with the medium, which is the UI of the website, at the same time, like if you're doing those things at the same time, or even worse, medium first and then the message, completely wrong. Just drop everything and just don't think about the user interface. Don't think about the visuals of your website until you know exactly what the message should be. And then think about how that message transfers to other mediums as well.
Nice. And your framework, you have 4 pillars in your documentation. Very extensive, very good to go through for to revise your whole website strategy. But also know a lot of teams are underwater. Just I don't know if your CRO team keeping the experimentations up, or even keep the business running, right? So what's the one thing that people should do right now if they've done nothing about AI optimization yet? They're might have been optimizing for humans, I hope. So what's not the full framework, but what's just the one thing that moves the needle the most?
I think one thing that they can do is, if you disable your website, where does AI get information from? And what does it say? Just kill your website. Don't kill your website, but pretend. Pretend that your CEO is learning how to vibe code and deleted the website. Where does AI get information from tomorrow? If you can just look at that, number one, you will be shocked. I guarantee you that you will be shocked by all the places saying different things about you, and you saying different things about yourself in all the different places, because there's a Crunchbase profile from 2016 that nobody updated, and it says you're doing something you're not doing anymore. Look at that. Ignore your website. I joked with Jonah on my podcast a few months ago. Have a no website Friday. Just don't look at your website on Fridays. And look and work on everything else. Something like that is a good start.
I remember 15 years ago, we had a mobile-only Friday. Right? Because everyone was looking at their websites through a desktop or a laptop when traffic was shifting to mobile.
I'm glad you said that, because that's a parallel I'm making. Obviously, machine first is a nod to mobile first. When mobile first became a concept, mobile traffic was 6.5% of all traffic. AI assistant traffic, which means you go to ChatGPT, type something, it fetches pages and explains them, Claude, whatever else, is at 5.3% right now, and growing at the same rate mobile traffic was growing. I think we're at a time where 5 years from now, everything will be different compared to how we see it now, because the way we browse will be through these distributed and delegated agents that will summarize, synthesize, do whatever else for us, and then come back and report. I think this is the same shift, if not greater, that like mobile was.
Yeah. So do we now all just need to shift, shut down our website and just shift to whatever AI's use is most popular? Just move everything to Reddit, all our content to Reddit?
No, but you have to take care of that as well. You have to keep an eye on that as well. So that's number one thing. And number two is, if your website is not really machine readable and parsable and citable and all that stuff, all those new GEO invented words, maybe you're in trouble, and maybe AI will get information from somewhere else. It will, but maybe it will find that information more important and more relevant than what you're saying on your own website. Yeah. So do everything everywhere all at once. That's my advice.
Yeah, and it can go fast, right? I mean, the LLMs are trained months ago, but with live access, they can update or answer updated knowledge really fast. But it can also go wrong, right? I saw this thread, I think it was this morning or yesterday evening, where someone asked, "Hey, why in Japan? Why are all the burgers that they have photos of burgers on Macs, and why are they skewed? Why are the tops off? Why are they misaligned?" And then someone made this whole story up, or he started answering, and it looked. It sounded nice, where he said, "Oh, that's artisan, and where the American burgers are all perfectly symmetrical, but in Japan they screw everything a bit to the side or move it off so it looks handmade." And then at the end he said, "Yeah, fuck off. I just made that up." And then someone else commented, "Oh, it would be nice if Gemini picked this up and presented this the next day as an answer," and actually it did.
Yes, and imagine a hamburger stand in Tokyo that has skewed burgers, and they must be killing it right now.
Exactly.
Traditional Japanese burgers.
Yeah. And he didn't need a website for that.
Exactly.
Yeah, nice AI LLM hacking. Hey, back to the event and the workshop that you're running. The title is NNN and small models. So tell me a bit about that. Why do we need smaller models and not just use, I don't know, ChatGPT, Claude, what everyone's using? The latest models.
The bigger ones, they tend to overthink, and they tend to give you a false sense of confidence that you can one-shot everything, and that's exactly what the workshop is telling you not to do. Don't one-shot your entire workflow. break it down into steps, and then you can work with smaller models as you break it down into steps. If you go to Claude, whatever Dario is selling, whatever hype Dario is selling right now, Mythos, whatever, the myth is in the name. That's the crazy thing. If you go to a model like that, a thinking model, and if you're listening to this, if there's an audio only, I'm doing air quotes, I'm sorry about that. If you go to a model like that, it will tell you, it can, what you just said about hamburgers. I can do it. I can make up anything you want and you will not even notice. If you work with a small model and you work with a workflow building first, and what do I need to do first, and then break it down into steps, the output will be better than one-shotting it with a model that took billions and billions of dollars of spend to get it to where it is today. So that's kind of what the workshop is about. There's also the ethical side of all of that. The let's not ruin our planet. Let's not destroy all the. And there's another thing that, I'll do the what most AI companies want to hide from you thing, and you can use that as a soundbite. You can use that as a title. The open source models are catching up. That's just a fact. And
yeah, I saw a graph yesterday from Kimi 2.6, and that looked impressive.
Yep. That's just something that's happening. So what these big companies have, data centers, which I don't know what that is, if it's happening, and the hype.
Yeah.
This is a no hype workshop. If you want to be there, be there.
Nice. And also, Claude, they upgraded Opus, of course, last week.
Yep.
I'm very annoyed that in Claude Code I cannot downgrade to Opus 4.6 because 4.7 is really annoying to work with. 4.6 was at least the original one. I mean, also in the last 2 weeks, 4.6 was also annoying in the last couple of weeks. But the ability to pick your model, and that's also, I think, one great benefit of the small, not necessarily the smaller models, but pick a model and pick a provider, and the model stays working the same. The downside of all these bigger models, that the fluctuation in performance is insane. It's really hard. I mean, it's fine if you just use it as a chatbot, but if you use it specifically, like you guys are talking about with N8N and workflows, the fluctuation in the quality is unworkable.
And out of your control, 100%.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Exactly. So, and one question about N8N. You are both not working for N8N or paid by them. So, why is that the tool of your choice?
Because it's visual. That's the only reason. It's a visual way to show a workflow. And when you have a workshop that has a limited number of hours it can run, it's better to show than just tell. And that is the main reason.
Fair enough. Your whole brand is about a skepticism of shortcuts, right? NoHacks, that's what your podcast is about. So combining that with AI, what do you think is the biggest thing, specifically in the experimentation community? Because I think that's the biggest audience for the workshop and the event, right? What are they thinking about AI that's just wrong still?
I see what you did there. You're trying to make me go to war with an entire community. I'm not going to fall for that. I'm sorry. I'm not going to fall for that, so I'll be careful and say...
I invested in tomatoes, so I was bringing all tomatoes to London so people can get them before your session.
That's very good. But let's just... It's not an experimentation-specific problem. This is any... See? I avoided that. Teflon. So nice. What you want to avoid is what I talked about in the workshop. You don't want to, what we'll talk about in the workshop, you don't want the AI to do the thinking for you. You need to know what you want to do. And then the how is becoming significantly easier because of all the LLMs and all the other tools that are available. If AI is doing the thinking for you, and I've seen this in experimentation community, I've seen the one-shot fix stuff for you things. If AI is doing the thinking for you, number one, it could be wrong. Number two, it probably is wrong. And number three, you're going to get fired tomorrow if this works, if you make it work. You're not going to make it work. So I don't think replacing thinking with AI I don't think we're there yet. I don't think we're getting closer to that than we were. And that's a good thing for humanity.
How do you think we can still get people to level up to senior level if no one's paying you to be a junior?
That is a question that you should ask someone like Yanis Varoufakis or someone like that who's smarter than me. I don't know. I don't have a solution for that. I think leveling up to a junior role is something that this is not new. This is not AA specific. You can do the junior level activities on your own. You can build your own website almost for free, and you can do stuff on it almost for free. You can do a lot of the things you can do are almost free. And if you show the work you've done, if you get those skills, do you need to be in a 5,000 people company being a junior and just getting your years there of expertise, or can you just get that knowledge on your own? Maybe that's the answer.
I thought your answer was going to be come to a workshop on May 6th in London. But
No, I'm not good at sales. I'm terrible at sales. Sure, do. Absolutely do. But don't expect that this will get you from junior to senior.
And speaking of a career path, what do you think website managers will be doing in 5 years? I mean, if this is... It's not just cutting out the junior level, right? It's also really changing the job. I mean, you just described the basically your audience is changing from humans to LLMs. How do you expect the job of a website manager, optimizer to change in the next 5 years?
I think everyone goes from arranging the shop window to doing something back in the store inside or somewhere else. And that is the closest analogy I have for it. The way we've done it for 20, 25, 30 years is gone. Just arranging pixels on your homepage or landing page, that I'm not saying it never should have existed, but it's not going to be necessary in the future. Sure, there will be people coming to your website, but it's a different reality. Like with going back to mobile first parallel with machine first, if you have a website right now that has one column instead of three, and on desktop you have one column, is someone not going to buy because you don't have enough columns on your website? No, just make it work for the most difficult constraint, which is optimizing for machine. Optimize your product feed. Make sure you're readable. Make sure you're everywhere. Make sure what you're saying can be understood and synthesized into a coherent answer, and you'll probably be fine.
Probably,
yeah. Of course. They're not deterministic. What else do you want me to say?
Sani, thank you so much for the interview. Glad to have you on CRO Cafe now. Everyone, please follow Sani on LinkedIn. NoHacks podcast is available wherever you listen your podcast. This is CRO Cafe. I'm Guido Jansen. See you at the next one and see you in London.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.